Hello and welcome to Destination Divergence episode 13. Last week, y'all pretty much saved the town with the chaos coup. Oh, and hello, we do have fifth member rather appearing. Good. Hello, Lemmy.
Hello.
Perfect timing.
Yeah,
Just
just
getting
got
started.
home. I literally just got home.
No worries. Good timing, actually. Um, so you all just finished a long rest after a night of, mostly an afternoon of celebration, really, drinking, having food in town. Um, You haven't seen Keth since he went off to attend to the wounded, but you are now all awake on whatever day of the month this is. I should actually check that. This would be a Tuesday, essentially.
In the hallway.
So, what do you all do?
So it's a new day, right?
Yep, you guys woke up. I don't know. You guys can decide if you wanted to wake up super early or a fairly normal time. But it's just like a Tuesday morning.
I would like to get up and go look for Keth.
All right, anyone joining him in that?
Felicia will join Rust.
Sure, I'll go too.
All right.
Carrick will not join. He would like to go to Whispers and try and work more on the getting the formula for the. I think it was it cloak of protection or the bag of holding. I think I was working on the bag of holding, and I wanted to get the cloak.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Shit, I was working on that.
You
protection.
and Milos were working together on the bag of holding to get done faster.
Correct.
And yeah, Nikarath was working on a cloak of protection as well. That's right.
Actually, I think I'll just keep working on the cloak of protection
All
instead.
right, so you guys are gonna just spend your days on that then?
Yeah.
Take pretty much a day of downtime. Okay. Let me mark that off.
Unless there's something that someone needs me for.
Nope, I got the talker. We're good.
The Chode Talker.
Never mind,
Nala.
I would actually prefer Kieran.
No.
What?
Nala, what would you be doing? As we have a couple party members going off to find Keth, the sheriff of the town, and a couple are going off to just kind of start working on their projects.
Don't really know what to do, to be honest. I'll just follow.
Okay. Tag along with somebody. So you are going to follow along with the group finding the sheriff?
Yeah.
All right. So we have Drost, Nala, and Felicia done. Is that correct?
Yes,
Assume
sir.
so?
All right. Sounds good. Where would you like to look? Town's wide open.
Well, he was treating the wounded, but I feel like at the start of a new day, he would most likely be at the sheriff's office.
Is there a distinct separation between sheriff's office and barracks?
Yeah, there's kind of one big building there. Yeah, I've got the town hall, jail, and barracks are all sort of one interconnected thing. That's that
Then-
weird shape with the courtyard in it.
I'm in favor of going there. Yes.
Yes, so we will go look there for the guy, the dude.
The dude. All right. On your way there, could you all make me perception checks?
Can do. Let me go find my dice.
Oh shit! Yeah, I'm covered in wings, and this was a bad choice.
Alright, I got a single die here. The die says 16 plus 3, 19.
All right.
I have perceived.
Wow.
Don't worry,
Yeah.
y'all. I'm making the magic happen.
I got 1 plus 4.
Oops.
Great start.
Big oof. That's some barbarian level right there.
Yeah.
I got a. What were we rolling?
Perception.
15.
15. All right. Drost and Felicia, you notice there are more people about than usual. unexplainably, there's just more hustle and bustle about the town.
Okay.
But otherwise, unless you would like to stop for any reason, you will make it to the barracks uneventfully.
Dress would actually nudge Felice and be like, "Yo, ask somebody what's going on."
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with that. I'm just gonna the nearest like verbally available looking townsperson. I just want to kind of wave at them and say, "Hey, is anything special going on in town today?"
So you see a fairly young lad. He would be considered an adult, but he's not exactly an old man. Probably 19 or 20, somewhere in that range. And he looks at you, kind of surprised for a minute, puzzles at your ears, but then it moves past it. And he will say, something special in town. Well, I mean, the whole town was just saved. Is that not special enough?
Fair enough, boy. Fair enough.
Yeah,
And
Felice, that was a dumb question.
and he'll look puzzled and ask you, is anything else then?
I don't know, Josh. You got any questions?
Nope, all good.
Oh, okay. Well, have a good day then. And he'll kind of awkwardly walk off. All right. So you make it the rest of the way to the barracks. At the door, you find the usual big, heavy shifter standing outside the door. I'll skip over the conversation this time and just let you guys into the building. Inside, you see lots of hustle and bustle. People are walking around everywhere in here. It's like there's even more people in here than there were outside. The voices are kind of cacophonous. There's too many conversations going on at once for you to really hear anything specific. It's like a densely packed, crowded area in these halls.
Can I make a perception check or whatever check you deem necessary to try to look out for someone who I recognize that like I interacted with in the battle the other day?
In the battle the other day. Sure, make me a perception check.
Trust me, I got lucky.
Sorry.
5.
I
Five.
got my weeds today.
Unfortunately, you see, it's hard to tell through the crowd. You're very distracted by the massive amount of movement and the different faces flying which in every direction. It's hard to really see what's going on at the moment.
Then I'm just gonna tap the nearest person and say, "Excuse me, where can I find Sheriff Kath?"
All right. The nearest person turns to you and says, well, that's what we're all trying to figure out. Well, I mean, we all know, but get in line. We're all trying to talk to Sheriff Kath.
Why?
Well, we're all trying to figure out what's really going on here. He supposedly just come back to town and, like, it was only a few weeks ago that we were all just thrown in prison here for no reason. Now we're all let out suddenly, and he's back with no explanation, and what are we supposed to do?
Can I see over the crowd?
Probably. Make me a perception check. I'll set a pretty low DC.
14.
Yep, okay. You can see over the top of the crowd because no one else in here is a Goliath. So you are a solid, not even a head over people, you're like a solid half of a body over everybody. So you can see quite clearly over the crowd. What are you looking for?
Just looking to see if Keth is like being surrounded by people or something. I'm just looking for him.
From your current position, you don't spot Keth directly, but you do spot some of the guard in the city, just kind of like guiding people, kind of acting as like traffic controllers, so to speak, but for people trying to kind of guide the crowd and make it orderly and you know, an actual line of some kind.
I'll just turn to Felicia and be like, it's super packed in here.
Drust, I have a request. I don't think you're going to like it.
I'll just say no then.
Please put me on your shoulders.
Oh, that's fine. He'll just pick up Felicia and put her on his shoulders.
I almost choked on my drink, Dross. Jeez.
If you're not gonna like it, I'll just lead with no. Then.
Perfect.
Okay. When I get up there, I'm gonna just look for the crowd of the guards, and I'm going to point Dross in that direction.
This is
Okay.
when you realize Dross' head is as thick around as your like entire torso.
I love it. I'm just wrapped around.
All right.
All
So
right,
you
well,
guys
Alicia-
attempting to push through the crowd then?
If Alicia points, I'm just gonna start walking.
Yep.
Okay. Felicia, make me a perception check, and Dross to make me an athletics check.
Oh no!
So I'm assuming Nala is there with you. So if you would push on Drost, I'll give him an advantage. It's up to you.
Okay.
All right.
All right, I'll take advantage on an athletics. 17, so that's +7, so 24.
Yep.
Eat.
Well, this is gonna be funny. I got a 6 in perception.
It's all right. Drost's roll makes up for it. So, Felicia, it takes you a bit to kind of parse all the information in front of you and figure out where to go through the crowd. But after that, it doesn't take much to get through the crowd because Drost walks through it effortlessly, as if there's no resistance at all, as if he's walking through air and there's no people in the way at all.
You just feel like a child get trampled.
Please no. We're not that chaotic. All right, so you do eventually make your way up through the line. Some of the guard try to stop you, but you push your way past them anyways, I'm assuming, at this point. And you do find Keth at the head of the line, who does recognize you, and he'll stop for a minute and be puzzled at your behavior, but then call you into his office personally.
All right, and I'm going to just slide forward and hop down over Drost's head.
All right, so the three of you are now packed in Keth's office. It's not very large. It's sort of like right at one of the back corners of the courtyard area there. So it's got a couple windows out into the actual the courtyard where there's a training ground for the soldiers. It's not very much space in the room, so with two Goliaths, it's kind of packed, but you fit. And as Keth kind of wedges the door closed forcefully with all the people trying to push in, he then looks up at you and says, I thought you wanted to keep this on the down low, that you were here. I wasn't. Did you want? This looks like special treatment. I don't know what to make of this. What are you here for?
I just don't like waiting.
Understandable, but that wasn't exactly a subtle display.
I just thought we needed to probably go over things from yesterday. And,
absolutely. I do agree with you on that. I mean, I don't mean to criticize you. After all, I do owe you a great many things. I'm just trying to gauge what the objective is here. Do you not have you abandoned subtlety at this point, or are you still going with that?
Were we ever going with subtlety? I don't remember.
I feel like subtlety may have gone out the window after the public coup.
People are definitely gonna remember that we were the ones who did all the shit.
Do you say that to
Yeah.
him, or are you out of game saying that?
I'll drop that in the game.
All right. Well, I mean, you only a small portion of the town, and people I know well that I could probably convince to keep it quiet. As you can see by the packed halls, the majority of the town was actually locked away here. The reason I have not been able to discern yet.
I forgot about that.
Okay. Well, good news is
Hey.
we can probably keep that going.
Hey Nick, you got some noise bleeding into your mic?
That's quite believable.
What did you say, Charlie? I'm sorry.
I'm like saying to Keth, I'm saying, okay, well, outside of my little piggyback escapade that I certainly apologize for, we can keep a low profile about the event specifically and our role within them, we can certainly happy to.
I could just say that you were a couple of passing mercenaries at the at a very fortunate time when we needed your help. I don't, does that work for you? I could not give you a name. I could just say, yes, those large fellows you saw and the strange-looking shifter were mercenaries. I think I can make that believable.
Yeah. You can just call us strangers.
That I could do. Some very fortunate timing for some strangers to arrive.
Okay, so that's settled. What now for Gull?
Well, that is something I'm figuring out, but I think I can work on it. I don't know how much help I could really take from you all. You've already done so much, and more help would make it less subtle, and I don't want that for you if you wish to remain anonymous. But what I can do is, now that I'm back, I feel like in power isn't the right word, but in control of things, I think you all deserve a reward at the very least.
Well, we would be certainly grateful. What did you have in mind?
Well, you were all passing through Galt, is that correct? You were on your way to somewhere else. Can't imagine this was your final destination.
You were indeed passing through.
Well, I have noticed you don't seem to have a good form of transportation, so we can offer you some horses, maybe a wagon or two if you need them, or any other kind of accommodation or supplies you need. And I was also thinking of a more than modest gold award for you all. I think good deeds like this should be paid, and it would make even more sense for the mercenary story if we did indeed pay you.
Keth, you've given us lots to think about. Please just allow me to confer with my colleagues, and I'm going to just kind of tap the large forms of the two beasts beside me and just kind of pivot around in my seat and just be like, hey, do we need anything? Trust.
Oh, you think they...
I'm talking, but I'm not used to being muted.
Oh.
Let's see. Do I need anything? I mean, Rise is nice. Dross prefers money.
We're getting that too.
Yeah. So, honestly, more work and more money for like another 2 weeks or so worth of work, and more money with that is probably and some I think it's scale mail. That's my personal request.
Are you okay going without a horse?
Yeah. Dross is used to walking / running everywhere he goes.
All right.
If you want a horse, you're gonna have to like say, hey, we want horses, because Dross isn't going to.
You
already
do
offered.
realize that if one person doesn't have a horse, then there's like no point in the rest of them having a horse. Because you can't go at the same pace.
I'll be honest, a part of me just pictured Drost galloping at horse speed, and I want to hold on to that, but I hear you. Okay, I'm gonna pivot dramatically back around on my seat to look at Keth, and I'm gonna say, Keth, I'm loving this. I'm loving what we got here. Now, I know that we are passing through in a sense, and we want to get out of your hair. We would just so much love getting the transportation and some little gold on the side, as you mentioned. But do you potentially?
Does Dross actually cut in with Splint? Or are you saying that out of game?
He looks like he's thinking for a bit, and then he goes, Splint! That's it.
Okay. I can have that arranged. Maybe a discount at the local rest chain. Perhaps that would. Oh, I don't have spares or arms or armor here, but and Timbers is a very good friend of mine, and he was actually there that day. One of the people you saved directly, so I'm sure he'll be very pleased to make such a deal.
A discount would do nicely.
All right, can do. And you said transportation and gold.
Yes, we did. Now, the last thing and this is not another request per se, but we certainly want to get out of the town area, kind of become less visible. But if you have any sort of larger scale project you need taken care of outside of the city, we're willing to do some work for some time.
Well, a little bit difficult. There's not much I can give you right at this moment, although I appreciate the offer. I am just getting a hold of things here. I don't even quite have a hold of things yet. The town is, frankly, a mess since everything has been overturned and I have returned, and still sorting the whole thing out. Is there any way I can contact you, or maybe if you return another day, I might have something then. But at the moment, all I'm really doing is answering citizens' grievances.
Kath, I completely understand. I don't know if we're going to be contactable, but we will always keep Galt in mind. I'm glad that we could help set things straight here.
Oh, that's good. I'll certainly keep you all in mind, although I'll be certain the rest of the townsfolk do not. Or at least those who do keep it in mind, keep it secret.
Keep it safe.
Yes.
All right. Well, who should we... We'll try to be out of town at the very least by tomorrow's morning. Who should we see about the reward arrangements?
Well, he kind of looks at the door, which you can all still hear all the cacophonous voices coming from. It's actually kind of hard to have this conversation at the moment, just with so much chatter going on right outside the door, but he nods towards the door and says, well, me, technically, but I'm rather busy at the moment, and if I just usher you all to the vault, it might not, be the best situation with all the townsfolk here. How about you come late tonight, and or rather, are you all staying at the Brass Bolt?
We sure are.
All right, I'll come and get you tonight then, when it's hopefully calmed down a bit here, and we can make our way over and finish up these arrangements.
That sounds great. And as to the matter of the special treatment that we may have looked like we were getting coming in here, I have a plan for that as we walk out. So why don't you just kind of push me along like you don't want me in here anymore?
You specifically I can push around. The other two may be difficult.
Yeah, they'll just follow along. They're my retainers.
Oh, okay.
I will allow it.
Fair enough. Are we all ready then? Tonight I will come and get you sometime late at night. Finish our arrangements then. All right, so
good.
he'll kind of inhale for a moment, like exhale as if he's like focusing himself, and then he'll fling open the door, and he's in a much angrier state now. And he will push you along, Lisa, kind of grabbing you by the scruff of the neck as he pushes you along.
It was 5 ales! Kev, what is this fucking town anyway? Really? I can't have 5 pitchers of ale and walk around like a goddamn adult?
Move
Nonsense.
along. Move along, I
Fucking
say.
nonsense. Oh, yeah,
I'll
move
deal with
along.
you
That's what
later.
you always say. Oh, yeah, big man, huh? Big man back in charge of his town. You know what? I'm out of here. I'm going back to the inn.
Make me a deception check. With advantage, because Kath helps you.
Please go.
Alright, I got a 23.
Okay.
Fuck yeah.
Seems pretty convincing. All the townsfolk look at you disgusted. And Drost and Nala walk out pretty chill. Alright, you guys are back out in the open air of the town.
Nala and I are walking out like, oh no, we're being forced out.
All right. Well, I've got my weave already, right?
You do. Yep, you picked that up yesterday. We just had to
Yeah,
fill
that's
in the
right.
details retroactively, which, do you want to describe to everyone else what the weave you picked was?
Yeah, it's fucking popping, yo. It's got like a warm, kind of like a warm orange glow, almost like a fireplace or a late sunset, and the pattern is just, it's like shafts of light coming through leaves, just slowly shifting along side to side.
I like the way you say shaft.
Oh my god.
I'm here for you.
Wow.
Chode talker.
Wow.
Wow. Alright. Well, to those who are doing work today, unless you guys want to alter your course. Nope. Alright, so for those who are doing work, and I'll assume Milos was still joining you, Karik. Unfortunately, he's not here to say otherwise, but I believe that was his intention anyways. So. I will say that those here in town, if you work tomorrow as well, I'll consider it a full work week, because those here in town are helping you along. The owner of Whispers knows you guys did what you did, even though they're trying to keep it a secret, so they'll kind of aid you in your work and just give you an extra boost. So that'll be one extra work week completed if you work tomorrow as well. Right.
How do I?
So I'm tracking that.
I
on
don't
my
remember.
end.
Okay,
Yep.
good, because I had no idea where I was.
Yep. No idea. No worries. So, Karik, you will be at 4 out of 5 weeks of crafting the bag of holding formula, and Nakareth, you will be at 2 out of 10 crafting the cloak of protection formula.
Sorry, can you say that again?
Well, I'm tracking it on my end, but just in case you're curious, you would be at 4 weeks out of 5 weeks creating the bag of holding the formula, or the bag of holding recipe, whatever you want to call it, blueprint, etc. Because you're currently studying an existing bag of holding you have to make a formula to create one yourself later.
Actually, I thought I was at Whispers working on the cloak of protection.
Oh, were you helping Nakareth with his cloak of protection then?
Yeah, I thought we were all gonna. I thought all three of us were working on a cloak of protection.
No, you
That
and
might just.
you and Milos were working on a bag of holding. Nakareth was working on the cloak of protection himself.
Oh, I see.
But you can shift your efforts to work with him instead for this week if you'd like.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
Yay!
I'll have Milos default to that as well. So that's 3 extra weeks. You'll be at 4 out of 10 on the cloak of protection recipe.
Woo!
Dross does have a project / errand
All right.
possible. He was going to go visit N Timbers.
All right. So we'll say N has already received word from the sheriff's office when the guard came over to kind of let him know the arrangement and stuff. So you walk into the brass chain. Is there anyone with Drost? Nala, Felicia, would either of you followed along to the blacksmith?
Yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so all 3 of you walk into the brass chain, and there's a few people there, although significantly less, hustle and bustle in here than the rest of the town, as, not many people are in desperate need of blacksmithing services at the moment, but it's definitely busier than when you've been here previously. However, Ed Timbers does immediately recognize you. He rushes up to you, Drost, and says, Drost, hello. Are you here to perform some more work, or are you looking to buy something? He's very eager to serve at the moment.
Hello, N. We discussed me purchasing the recipe for your automated crafting hammers.
Yes. No. He kind of draws you in a little closer, or rather, he draws in closer to you and kind of starts speaking in more hushed tones. It's a bit of a... It's my legacy, but for you, as long as you promise not to resell it, and not to sell them for profit, would you agree to that?
For my work only.
All right. Well, I trust you, Drost. Let's say 100 gold pieces for the recipe.
I would love to do that.
All right.
And how much for Splint?
For Splint. He kind of goes behind the counter and he starts doing some mental math. You can see he's kind of, looking up at the ceiling a little bit, kind of muttering some words to himself. Well, since you're such a good friend, he's kind of looking around to make sure that the people that are overhearing don't get any strange ideas. Since you're such a good friend of my family, we'll say 150 gold pieces for Splint.
That's a pretty good deal. I'll take that.
All right. So you hand over 250 gold pieces then?
All right. So let's see what I have right now.
That's
First,
a good call.
I got 170.
All right, so you can afford one or the other at the moment, and maybe come back later once the gold is distributed.
Yes. So he mentions that he will likely be receiving a large amount of gold soon. He'll be back for the Splint. I'll kind of laugh. You may need to resize it.
That can be done. That can be done. And your current armor, will you be in need of that, or would you like to trade in for a further discount?
I would like to trade in, actually.
Alright, so you currently have chainmail? Is that right?
Yes, I currently have chainmail.
Alright, he will take 60 gold off of the price of the Splint in trade for the chainmail.
Alright.
So that would be down
takes
to
me
90.
90.
Yep.
Which actually takes me to
190 total. So you're 20 gold short at the moment.
Justin's gonna look around. Everybody have 20 gold?
You want 20 gold?
Hey, if you have more than 20 gold that you're not feeling partial to.
I'll hook you up.
Ooh.
Just, I legitimately believe I have about 18 gold to my name right now. So.
Everybody pull your lunch money together. Let's go.
Much money.
Alright, well, that 190
All
will
right.
get me the scale plus the...
The Splint.
Oh shit, I gotta buy a shield too.
Do I just remove it from my currency?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Alright, I'll work on the shield later.
Well, shield is only 10 gold pieces. If you have any other slight amount of gold lying around, it's already such a large transaction, I know, but that would bring us to an even 200. Very nice round number.
True. If only someone had 10 gold, I could repay them.
All right, Drost, shake me down, why don't you?
Wouldn't
Let's
you
see.
love that?
All
Don't
right.
look at me. All right, 10 it is. I'm down to 8 gold pieces. I hope you're happy.
I will pay you back 20 later.
Where did all your money go?
I also owe Kieran like 200 gold or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Wait, what you do?
Holy
Yeah.
I
shit!
don't remember that.
I'm gonna need a lot of that money. Oh wait, what? Never mind.
No, really, how much do you owe me? I
I
forgot.
don't know.
We can check the logs.
Fever dream.
Wow.
The beauty of it being recorded.
No.
That's true. Because I've only
That
got like
puts me at
66
0.
gold.
I do recall Nakarath lending Felicia money to buy the Glamour Weave. I don't recall how much though, and I did not take note of that.
Cloak.
It's a very nice cloak. All right, so Drost, you make the transaction successfully then. You now have Splint, a shield, and a recipe for the Timbers Auto Hammer. I believe I called it. Maybe it was the Timbers Brass Auto Hammer.
Juicy.
If only you people knew what this did.
So It will take you some time to actually craft one to get it started, but yeah, once you have it, you'll have it. So.
All right. I'll do some handshaking. Do some.
All right. So he'll says, well, I can give you the shield now. That won't need much adjusting, just some straps. But the armor I can get to you tomorrow. I think if I really rush it, which I think I can manage. I'll put all my other projects aside for now. Make sure this armor gets done, and I'll get you that tomorrow morning.
I appreciate it, and you're a good friend.
Thank you, Trust. You're a good friend to me as well. Anything for the other two of you? I don't believe we've met. He kind of gestures to you, Nala, and also to you, Felicia.
Oh, I'm just watching. Hello, I'm Felicia.
Hello, and Timbers at your service.
Oh, it's a pleasure. I've heard good things from our large friend here. Unfortunately, I don't have much to my my little old name right now, but I'm just enjoying your beautiful little shop. Thank you for what you do here.
Oh, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
You're quite welcome.
And you, very large sir here, the other Goliath friend. He kind of gestures to Nala again. Want to make any purchases while you're here? I believe, actually, I do recall you here another time. I don't know if I got your name.
I remember.
You were, do you happen to have any more gold to buy a better weapon? Is that what you're looking for before?
Yes, but I don't think I have enough gold right now at all.
Well, I'll be happy to take your business in the future if you still desire it.
Do you have any recommendations for me? Anything?
Well, let's see. I see you, unlike Jost here, I see you tend to fight without armor, but have you considered a shield? You'd have to fight, he looks at the very large weapons on your bag and says, you'd probably have to switch to something smaller, but it could help you take a few less hits. But, if you ever need some more survivability.
Like a shield, you say?
It would be a shield. It would, and out of game to explain it to you, the shield is only 10 gold pieces. It increases your armor class by 2, so you're roughly 10% less likely to get hit. But it takes up 1 arm, so you'd have to use a one-handed weapon. Just a little bit weaker, but
Yeah, that sucks. No, I have to use a two-handed weapon.
okay.
But couldn't I just like equip it on my back or something? Or no? That's
No,
not really how it
unfortunately
works.
not. Nope.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for the recommendation. I'll stick to my two-handed weapon for now.
Right. A little bit outside my wheelhouse, but I don't know how much money you have on you. If you like, I could make something smaller and lighter that you could attempt to get enchanted at Whispers across the way, although that would be fairly expensive.
What is fairly expensive? Like, what's the range?
Depending on what type of enchantment you'd want. If it's some kind of enchanted ring with a minor effect like water walking, that might only be a few hundred gold pieces. If it's something more potent, like making you more survivable, we'll say, kind of blocking blows just with the force of magic, that could range into the thousands pretty quickly.
Oh, I want that one. All right. I guess I can't afford it for now. I'll come back someday.
All right. Well, I'm always here, and thank you for your business. All right. Any other business around town?
I am all set.
I have 35 GP worth of scrap metal. Does N want that? I don't need to be carrying that.
He'll buy it from you if you.
Could you sell it? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll sell it to him.
So yeah, he'll pay you back 35 gold pieces of
Alright.
for the scrap.
Okay, I will get rid of that. Nice. Oh, how do I remove it? There we go. So with that 35, I'll pay the 20 back to Nala, and
Thank
the
you.
10 back to Felicia, and I will have 5 left.
Hooray!
Yay!
Hooray! All right.
5 gold pieces.
More than doubled my wealth, my friend.
I mean, 5 gold pieces, but I've got 20 AC now, so.
Yep, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it works out.
And I've got the secret to some auto hammers.
Yep. So any other business around town, or are you guys gonna just kind of skip to the evening, or do you have plans for the day?
That was the only plan I had.
All right.
I
Yeah.
did my drinking. It's work time.
All right, so if half the party is working, the other half of the party, we can say, can just lounge around town with the remaining hours of the evening. As you all gather for the evening in the brass bolt, I don't know, drinking, having some food. We'll skip over the costs for now, but Keth does approach you. He comes in through the door wearing a cloak, and he kind of just, as he enters through the door, he pops the cloak back over his shoulders, so you can see his head. He obviously was trying to make it over here at least slightly incognito. Fortunately, at this point, the brass bolt is mostly empty outside of you folk. A couple people here and there, but they're all fairly drunk, and they don't really care that Keth just walked in. Ah, there you all are. I am exhausted, and I could really use a drink, but I have brought your reward. So you sit down at the bar, order the shot of Orla's finest distilled alcohol, the home special, and he will begin handing out gold. So you can each take 400 gold pieces.
Ooh, baby.
And I'll let the others know that as well.
Keth, this is very generous. I truly
Fuck
appreciate
yeah.
it.
Well, not only have you saved my life, but you've also saved my town and helped me get revenge on those who would twist it. I'd say this is really the least I could do.
It's 400 each, right?
400 each.
Damn, nice.
I guess my time has come.
If we all put it together, we could buy Nala a magic weapon.
Nala technically has a magic weapon unless you took the flail back from him before.
No, I'm pretty sure Nakareth gave you a magic weapon, Nala.
Yeah.
I don't think we actually told you, though.
I think I mentioned it to Lemmy out of
Oh
game,
yeah, you did.
but
You did.
I added it to your character sheet. You have a great flail. that
Yeah,
counts
I
as
heard
a-
it's not as strong as my previous weapon, but it's more accurate.
I
More
actually
accurate and bypasses damage.
Yeah, and I actually updated it slightly. It actually is just as strong as your other weapon. It's a direct upgrade, except it does bludgeoning damage instead of slashing damage, if that matters to you.
And
Oh,
correct me if I'm
maybe
wrong,
D12.
he wouldn't be able to use a shield with that, right?
No, as a
two-handed.
No.
yeah,
Oh, I forgot. It's it's an enlarged.
right.
flail. My
Yeah,
bad.
it's a much larger than normal. It takes 2 hands to wield.
It's erect,
Big boy season.
An erect flail. Sure, we'll go with that.
enlarged.
Yep.
Engorged.
So you've got a great sword and a big ass flail on your back.
It's pretty
Yeah.
girthy.
It's like way heavier than my greatsword too.
Yeah. It's a big one. All right, so you all have plenty of
I
funds.
got a question actually.
Sure.
Are there like other shops in the future, maybe, or is there a way to like enchant your main weapons?
Oh, I'm sure you'll encounter plenty of shops, yeah. There's going to be shops in
Yeah.
every town. Galt is just the first city you'll visit. You may never even come back here. It's up to you guys. But there's a whole continent to explore whenever you guys want. So
That sounds good.
Is D&D Beyond shitting the bed for anyone else?
a little bit, unfortunately.
Good for me.
Can't
I
load
think
my
mine's
character
alright.
sheet.
Yeah, it was derping out a little bit for me when I was trying to load Nala's character sheet. But
Yeah, I can't load mine right now.
Nala, too bad you don't have anyone who can make magic items.
Yeah, I know it sucks. Life sucks.
But yeah, there'll be plenty of opportunities. You might loot some magic items. You might be able to enchant the things you have, or buy enchanted items, or whatever. even more so than a normal D&D game, because this is Eberron, and Eberron is a very magical place with lots of magical technology. So, expect to see many things.
Which is why we should explore the forest.
I'm down. It's forest time, y'all.
Oh shit! It's forest time.
Just dive
Cat in
into
the woods. It's forest time.
Go get that wood.
That good wood, baby. Let's go.
I no longer intend
Oh
to
my! All
I
right.
have lost all interest in entering the forest.
Come on, you know you want to.
My girlfriend just said in the background, "This is what a game called Men is like."
Hey, we have Felicia. All right, listen.
Felicia.
Charlie. Charlie makes it like almost count as two guys. It's that weird.
All right.
Gender isn't real.
You're right.
So after your drinks, or after Keth's drinks, and after he hands out the gold, he says to you all, "I've arranged for the stalls in the north gate to have a horse for each of you with a saddle and a cart for the group, or a wagon rather for the group. Sorry, this booze is very strong. It's already getting to me, but
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna go lay down. It's been a long day. I wish you all the best of luck in whatever you're doing, and know that you can always consider Galta home if you ever need a place to return." And he will just stumble out the door.
Goodbye.
Well, that's it. We're gonna retire here.
I mean,
Yeah, I
400 gold is a lot of money if you guys wanted to stretch it out and live like wealthy for years, but
Yeah,
That
but
is a
we're
retirement fund.
adventurers. Fuck that.
yeah, you got a double or nothing. Go out there,
So it
risk all of
works.
your loot and life to make even more wealth.
Hell
Ye-
yeah.
All right, so what do you guys do now? Are you guys going to turn in for the evening and pass the day? Or you have any evening plans, any evening celebrations?
I'm gonna spend the maximum amount of time that I can learning to make those hammers.
Okay.
Until I've learned them, and then I will just rest.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna get some paint peeling alcohol for the road.
Okay.
You should have been drunk at this, dude.
I mean, probably,
Um,
but Astral is so fucking cool.
Yeah, it is pretty.
yep, yep.
Astral.
Orla will sell you a whole bottle of her homemade booze for 15 gold pieces.
All right, we'll do that.
It's more expensive than expensive wine. But
Question.
she's very proud of it. Yes.
Will Nakarth and I be able to continue our work on the cloak of protection without the help of the woman from Whisper?
You will, yes. Yes.
Okay, cool. Then yeah, Carrick will say, "I got no qualms if we want to leave tomorrow and head into the forest."
Felicia is in favor.
Yeah, we didn't get to explore much last time, and we definitely need to bring Felicia this time, so I don't almost die.
For sure. She'll definitely be
Good job.
helpful.
I mean,
I'm
thank
your
God
not
for the
dying
corrupt
friend.
cleric who saved my life, and then I threw a rock at his head. What does
We've
that say about me as
established he was a
person?
bad man to carve.
He deserved it. I wouldn't sweat it.
You're right. And I slug, and I take another shot.
All right. Are you drinking to inebriation?
No, not this time.
Okay. Any other orders of business before the evening concludes? All right.
No, I'm good.
Yep, sounds like I don't hear anything. So you'll go to a fairly peaceful sleep with the, the sudden financial security you've all come into. And you wake up the next morning. For the sake of brevity, Trost will say you pick up your armor. There's nothing eventful happens there. So you now have your splint. You've lost your chainmail or whatever you had previously. I already forgot because short-term memory is not a thing. Yeah, and you can all go pick up your horses or do whatever else around town you need. It is now Wednesday, my dudes.
All right, yeah, I
I'm
want to
gonna
get my
go look at
horse.
my amazing horse.
All right.
Alright, if I've learned that recipe, I'm ready to go.
Yep, you've read over it as much as you can. It's less a memorization game and more of a you have to follow this recipe later kind of thing. But you're familiar enough with it now that you could probably start to work through gathering the materials and things you need.
Just a thought, but you guys, I was talking in character. Do you guys think it would be wise to bring the horses into the forest? I feel like there's a lot of things in there that would kill them.
Absolutely not.
No, not even a little bit.
I say we
You're right,
leave the
right.
horses here in Galt, maybe at a stable, and then we have an excursion to the forest, and we can always come back and get the horses, and then travel off to Passage.
Fully agree, Carrick. Fully agree.
Awesome,
Sure,
sounds
sure.
good.
All right. So are you guys gonna go see the horses first and maybe claim them, or are you just gonna leave?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, character wants to check out the horses.
Cool. So the stable hand recognizes you as you arrive. Says, "Oh yes, hello. Sheriff Keth talked to me earlier. He mentioned you would be arriving. You see this fairly hefty half-orc. Not as big as your Goliath friends here, but he's even bigger than most half-orcs. Very, very muscular. For whatever reason, you typically wouldn't associate a super muscular figure with a stable hand, but there he is. And so he'll show you to your horses. And there's a wagon. It's a covered wagon. It should hold maybe all of you but the Goliaths at once. A Goliath would probably take up 2 people worth of space inside it, but otherwise you could fit most of you in there. With a couple of your horses out front to drag it. But so that wagon is now yours. I don't know who wants to keep track of that, but one of you may. You each get a draft horse. And he will let you pick from the lot of horses. So if any of you have color preferences or pattern preferences that you'd like your fantasy horse to be, you may choose.
Hell yeah.
Oh, can we just like freeball on that? Is
Go
there not
for
like
it.
a set group available?
I mean,
Okay.
unless you go for something outlandish, I'd say a somewhat realistic looking horse. These are all normal horses, but you may, we'll assume that whatever horse you decide would be in the pack, yes. So you're not going to find like a rainbow unicorn, but you could probably find like a white horse or a brown horse or like a brown spotted horse, kind of whatever you're feeling.
I'm just gonna find the biggest fucking horse I can.
All right, so Drost,
It's
you find
advisable.
a large draft horse that's actually kind of like notably wider than the other horses, not by like an extreme amount, but just enough to be noticeable. And it's this kind of heavy gray draft horse that it's just eating. Like you walk up to it to try and interact with it, and it's just eating hay.
Damn,
It hardly
boy.
even notices you.
I guess I will pet the horse.
The horse keeps eating, but it acknowledges you.
That is the best way this could have gone.
I noticed
Horse
this and
I acknowledge you.
I smirk and I say, well, that's appropriate.
Anyone else have preferences? And I'm not going to be keeping track of this, by the way. So if you do have a preference, make sure you write it down somewhere.
Do you like him thick?
Yes.
Oh, hold on.
Any other horse preferences, or should we just go with Raven?
Yeah, I'm gonna post a picture real quick.
Okay. For sure.
I'll steal a white horse.
I put it in the Discord.
All right, nice looking horse.
Wait, do each of us are getting a horse, or
Everybody gets one horse. Yep, a draft horse, which is in D&D Beyond. You can actually add it to your character sheet in the extras section. If you want to keep track of it there. To the far right by equipment and stuff, you can manage extras and then just type in draft horse or whatever you'll be able to add it there. Probably as a mount would be the easiest way. Although if you really want to classify your horse as a vehicle, you could.
But don't I? But
Sorry,
isn't
what?
my character like too big?
It's a draft horse. I mean, you weigh probably a few hundred pounds. A draft horse can carry like 400 or 500. I think. Double check that. I know they're one of the largest carrying capacity horses.
Also, if no one knows how to drive a cart, I can certainly take that role.
All right.
Of course, once we get back from the forest, I mean.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Yes. I want this one.
Okay.
And yeah, my horse is just like small and just like shiny black.
Okay.
And
Like it.
She is my special friend.
All right.
That's a beefy boy.
It's pork.
Okay. I regret that I don't have an easy way to add this to the recording. Maybe I'll do it in post, but that's amazing.
He's Polish.
Okay, so that is Nala's draft horse. Perfect.
Oh no. Wait. I need a vote. Which one is better? Hold on.
This is true D&D.
Belgium or Polish?
First one, y'all.
I think the first one. Yeah.
Okay.
Big truck.
You take one, I'll take the other.
Okay, so the other one is Drost then. Perfect. I
Perfect.
like that. I did describe it as a gray, thick horse.
Yeah, I thought of
Yeah.
that.
Perfect. All right. So unless I hear other suggestions, we'll move on then. Doesn't sound like it. Okay. So you all prepared with rations and things? Do you need to stop anywhere on your way out, or are you just gonna head straight to the forest?
Yeah, Carrick will do his normal
Okay,
morning routine.
rations still.
Let me see.
Yeah, I've got 9 days worth of rations still. How long is it to
I believe last time you guys took an excursion there, it took you 3 days there and 3 days back. Not counting time in the forest. But you could press at a faster pace if you want, or even forced march if you wanted to get there in like 2 days. But that would be exhaustion levels. But you would admittedly lose every night in a long rest. But if you do encounter any negative wildlife with exhaustion levels, that could get tricky.
If you guys want, I think it would be cheaper this way. Instead of having to all buy rations, I'm a pretty good cook. I can just cook for all of us if we all chip in on food. It'd be cheaper that way.
Yeah, I'm all for saving money. Let's
I
go.
like that.
Yeah,
idea.
let's
do
do
that.
that.
All right.
Yeah, I have about 3 days worth of supplies for food right now. But if we chip in, I don't know if that's just, if those supplies are only good for one person.
Yeah, but for one person.
So let's say we can all chip in and buy food for, let's say, a month for all of us. I mean, will supplies last that long?
If you get the right kind of supplies, you probably wouldn't have very many like super fresh fruits and veggies in the mix. But with various preserved things, you could probably make do.
Yeah. So yeah, I think if we chip in, it shouldn't be too much. So food for how many of us are there?
There is 6 in the party.
Yeah. So 6 people for a month, just raw materials.
All right, so let me calculate that out real quick. And a month is 28 days in Eberron. So that'll be 50 gold pieces for the whole group for a month's worth of food.
Each?
Total. So rather,
Dross will donate 5 gold to the group food
It
fund.
would be roughly
So-
9 gold per person for the month.
I will donate 10 gold.
Okay. Yeah, people can donate what they want, and I'll cover the rest.
All right.
I got 10.
Yeah, I got 10. You're cooking. You should deserve to pay a little less.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Yeah, Felicia put in 10.
All right.
So that's 30. Is Nala chipping in at all, or?
Sorry, what?
Is Nala chipping in on the food fund?
Honestly, I don't know if I have a ton of food. You're talking about gold?
Yes.
Yeah.
How
Carrick said
much
that
do you
he-
guys need?
I think there's 20
We all did
gold
10.
left that we have to pay.
We need 20 gold? Okay. Yeah, I'll chip in 20.
All right.
All right. Cool.
Cover the
I covered
rest.
it.
Dope.
All right. So yeah, you can make 28 days worth of rations that way, which would be a month in Eberron. So the months in Eberron are based on moon cycles, and that's one cycle of 4 weeks. So yeah, good stuff.
Good stuff indeed.
Good eats.
So you get lots of, pickled veggies and some jerky, some various different breads and things that should last. They're cooked a little harder, things like that. Not the most pleasant foods in the world, but much nicer than rations. And with your cooking skills, you should be able to make something significantly more party.
Awesome.
All right. Anything else in town before you all depart? All right, sounds good. So we'll say that all happened in the fairly early morning, as you all were preparing for travel anyways. So you can get in a full day's worth of travel to the west. Who would like to make the survival check for navigation? And if anyone wants to make, and specifically, who would like to be a perception check along the journey to watch for anything potentially suspicious?
I'll do perception check.
Not
I
me.
have +4 in both of those, so I could
Yeah.
probably do either.
I have +4 in perception, but that's it.
All right, then I'll do survival.
Okay, make those rolls.
Uh, 22.
22. Yep. Not only do you, what'd you roll?
A 2. +4, +6. I should stop rolling today.
Unfortunate. You don't spot anything on the way, Nala. It looks pretty normal out to you.
Oh man.
Nakarath, you not only are able to find, well, obviously you know where the Eldritch Groves are at this point, but not only are you able to find a good path on your way there, you're able to find a great path. Looking ahead, you're able to kind of spot different ways that the fields meet and join the paths between them, and you're able to find like an optimized route through it. So I'll actually say that's a fairly quick day. You'll make an extra like 20% progress or so.
Sweet.
All right. So otherwise, the day passes without anything unusual. You guys have been traveling for a full 8 hours. You've made it about, say, with the boost that Nakarath is able to manage for you guys, finding an excellent path, you made it about 20 miles, give or take.
Nice.
So you're a little over a third of the way there. Would you like to push and keep going for another hour and risk an exhaustion point, which you can repeatedly do to make some more progress? Which exhaustion points, one will go away every long rest, but they won't go away until the end of the long rest. So if something attacks in the night, you'll be exhausted. But they can be useful for making some extra progress. It's up to you guys.
I'm in no rush.
Yeah.
I guess we can
I agree.
keep it slow.
All right. Heard a few votes for that at this point, so I'll say you all set up camp.
Carrick will cook up some food for everybody for the day.
All right. Anybody has any special camp preparations that they want to bring up? Nope. All right.
Nope. Good.
So you guys make a pretty average camp. Carrot cooks up some nice food. It's kind of the highlight of the evening. If you've been traveling all day and there's nothing really special about the camp, it's kind of just, enough to get by. But the food is nice. Carrot, can you actually make me a roll with your cook's utensils? So I'll say that's an intelligence check and proficiency if you have it.
Yeah, sure thing. So, ooh, that's really good. That's 20.
20 what?
25.
25.
Jeez.
Okay.
Oh, the 19.
And do you still have that spice pouch on you, or did you swap that out for something else? I can't remember. Probably not. I might be misremembering. So you make amazing food. You all haven't even had such good food back at the Brass Bolt in town. It's very honestly the best meal you've had in a while, which is very surprising considering the ingredients are all heavily preserved and not fresh ingredients. But Carrick just does an amazing job with it, and it smells great. When you all wake up after the long rest, so not yet, and I'm doing this because this will go away during a long rest, you can all have 5 temporary hit points. But until then, it is now evening. You guys gonna set up a watch, or are you just gonna all pass out?
I can take first watch.
Watches are probably good. No one look in the forest.
go
Josh would like to participate in watch.
Okay. So I heard somebody call first. Was that Kark?
Yeah, that was me.
All right.
You will accompany Karak on first watch.
Okay. Kark, go ahead and make me a perception check at advantage, then.
Ooh, one is a 1 and a 15. Yeah, I'll definitely take that advantage. It's a 19 total.
19 total. Okay. Yeah, looking out over the field, it's a pretty nice night. It's it's still pretty early in the month, so one of Eberron's many moons is very large in the sky still, so it's very bright moonlight out, and you can see fairly well over the fields and into the forest beyond. It's a peaceful night. The stars are kind of hard to see because of the moonlight, but otherwise it's pretty beautiful out. You don't notice anything else unusual. And your watch passes uneventful.
Sweet.
Who do you wake up for the next watch?
I wake up Drost.
All right. And Dross, do you wake up anybody to accompany you? Or are you just gonna go for it?
Josh will probably take his quiet time.
Okay. Go ahead and make me a perception check then.
Okay, 1 Perceptione check. 19.
All right. Again, you notice the same things. It's a pretty beautiful night. Again, nothing out of the ordinary so far. Your watch passes uneventful.
It's just nice out.
It's just a nice night. What can you say? It is a very nice Wednesday night, my dudes. Last watch. Who are you waking up?
I'll do it.
Well, you're currently asleep, so Drost has to choose who he's gonna poke.
Oh yeah. I'm talking in my sleep. Pick me up.
I will pick. Let's see. Carrick already went.
Currently have Nala, Milos, and Nakarth.
I'll wake up Nala.
All right. Nala, do you wake anybody up to assist you?
Nah, it's a good night.
All right. Make me a perception check.
All right. I swear to God, if I get another 10.
10. Yeah, it's a nice night. You actually notice more things close to you than far away. You get a little distracted. There's a rock on the ground that if you look at it at the right angle, it looks like somebody's face, but then it kind of goes away when you look at it later. It's like, all right, that kind of distracts you for a bit. But otherwise, yeah, you don't really notice anything. And your watch passes uneventful. It is now the morning of that Thursday, or Zor, technically. So you all are awake. Depending on the watch structure, some of you might have a few more hours of just kind of moseying about, but otherwise, yep, your rest is past. Are you all gonna continue traveling right away? You gonna have breakfast here, or are you gonna save your rations for later? What's the plan for the day?
Do we still have the temp hit points or no?
Yes. So for the day, you will have 5 temporary hit points.
Cool. I think we're good to go. If we want to wait to have dinner later.
Eat
Yeah.
breakfast cold on the move.
All right.
Have your bread and cheese.
That's good. So survival check and perception check again from whoever would like to take those.
All right, survival.
I can go perception this time.
All right.
Do it.
19 again.
There are 14 from Nakarath.
Yeah, for survival.
Okay, 14 and 19.
Yeah, 19.
Yep. So, unlike yesterday, you're unable to find like a perfect path through the fields here, but you manage just fine. They don't slow you down at all. So you're now pretty much 2/3 of the way there, if not slightly beyond that. And on the travel, you've started to notice, Karak, as you've gotten closer, the same kind of looming darkness about the forest from before, that even in the bright light of the day, it just looks dark. As if there's a shadow cast over it by something, but there's no something to cast a shadow over it. But it's very faint, and if you look away, it's almost like that effect isn't there at all. It's very strange. But other than that, you don't notice anything crazy or, nothing sneaking up on you as you travel. So.
Cool.
It is the evening of your second day of travel. Are you guys going to push on or just stop here?
We don't need to push on. We can just chill.
Yeah.
All right. So you all set up camp again. I'm assuming the same way as before. Making dinner, Karak, yes?
Yep, I can roll another cooking check.
You may.
This is a 14.
14, okay. Definitely still a good meal. Not as incredible as before, but considering the ingredients you're working with, still impressive.
Oh, hi, George.
Oh, hello, George.
Hello.
Welcome.
That's good.
As a very quick recap, Keth awarded you all 400 gold pieces each and a horse. So you may add that to your character sheet. It would be a draft horse. And you are all now traveling to the Eldritch Groves for adventure. So this meal that Karak just made everybody, like I said, was impressive, but no temp HP this time. Alright, so... What?
I assume that the old ones wear out tonight, right?
Yeah, that will not until you complete a long rest, technically.
Yeah.
So,
So
watches.
if we get ambushed, we still have them.
Yep, you still have them until you complete the long rest. That's right.
Okay.
So, watch structure. Who's up?
I'll take first watch tonight. I didn't take one last time.
Okay. Are you taking anybody with you to give you assistance?
I'm coming on.
Sure.
All right. Felicia's getting in there. Nakarath, make me a perception check at advantage then.
Ew, 12.
All right. You're getting so close to the forest, you're noticing the same things as Karak. It's just so strangely dark. Like, even in the darkness of night, it's just darker.
I'm
Other
like,
than
no,
that-
no, not again, and turn away from it.
All right.
Uh.
So you spend your night kind of looking at it and, like, snapping away from it. Almost like you're falling asleep in a way, and you're, like, trying to snap yourself back to reality, but it's more like you're being drawn into the forest. But otherwise, you don't really notice anything sneaking up on you, nothing out of the ordinary, besides the very out of the ordinary forest. But your watch ends without issue. Who are you waking up?
I'm gonna wake up Dross with a splash of water from the endless decanter.
Okay.
You know, you keep doing that, I'm gonna keep getting you back.
Fair, but just I didn't do the hydro pump this time, so
You're right.
keep
You're
that in
right.
mind.
Oh, I'm
I
sure
just did a
nothing
trickle.
bad will happen.
Trust for the
yeah.
record, I was against it. Night night.
They're lying.
Good night, little fuzzy-eared one.
Oh, I smile. Go curl up.
I'm imagining Felicia does actually sleep curled up like a cat. Is that correct?
Oh,
or is that... okay.
absolutely.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Drost, you waking everybody up?
Let's see. Sure, I'll wake up Milos.
All right. Drost, make me a perception check at advantage if Milos accepts being woken up.
Sure.
All right.
All right.
Oh, no, I'm not.
Advantageous. 13.
All right. Yeah, you don't notice anything other than the forest again. I mean, rather, you notice the forest is very strange, but around you, you don't notice anything coming up to you. You don't spot anything that you're keeping watch for. It's a quiet night. And your watch passes without event.
All right, I'm perfectly fine with that. In that case, Milos and I will wake up Karik.
Alrighty.
All right, Kark. You waking anybody up, or are you just gonna go for it?
I'll just go for it.
Okay. Make me a perception check.
Alrighty. And during his watch, he'll also... Oh, that's cocked. During his watch, he'll also get an early start and some breakfast for when people wake up.
Okay, sure. It's the last watch. That's fine.
That's an 8.
An 8. Okay, fitting for multitasking. Yeah, you notice there's some kind of like clouds rolling in. Doesn't look like anything crazy, but the weather's starting to shift a bit. Just it might rain in the next few days. Other than that, you don't notice anything around you.
Yeah.
And you are all now awake on your now beginning the 3rd day of travel. You feel like you could make it to the edge of the forest within a day, with just a nice moderate pace at this point. Karik is currently cooking breakfast for you all. Karik, could you make me a roll with your cook's utensils?
Got it. Oh, it was a 15, and then it became a 5. That's an 11.
Still good. Again, another pretty good meal. Impressive for the ingredients again, but nothing. Nothing you'd. This is more on par with what you'd expect with the ingredients, keeping Karik's skill in mind. All right. So no temporary hit points for that one either. But you are all satisfied for the day. Survival roll and perception check on the way there, if somebody would. 2 separate somebodies, rather.
Ooh, 22 survival.
I can take perception today.
Okay.
Oh, 18, so 21.
All right. So, the car, as you were so drawn to the forest before, you're able to find your way there very quickly. And you guys make it right to the edge of the forest, and I'll assume you stop there before going quite in. You're maybe you're maybe 100 feet from the forest, or you could be farther back if you want to make camp farther away from the forest. Up to you guys. But we'll assume you're pretty close to the edge, unless you otherwise say. And Drost, you got a 20-something?
21.
21. Yeah, you notice those same clouds rolling in are moving a little bit unnaturally fast. But not like... I guess not unnatural, but they're moving faster than you'd expect, and they definitely look like storm clouds of some kind. Other
I'll
than
just
that,
kind of comment on it, yeah.
yeah, you notice some critters here and there hopping about in the forest occasionally, like some leaves might jump here as like some kind of squirrel moves there, but it's not. You don't notice any like big predators moving around in there yet. But yeah, you guys have made it to the edge. Well, I mean, one would assume there's some dangerous things in the Eldritch Forest.
Why?
Anyways, it is the end of the third day of travel. You are all at the edge of the forest. Would you like to make camp here, or move a little bit away from the forest, or what's the plan? You guys gonna dive right in? All up to you.
What's
Anybody have opinions?
I didn't think this far ahead.
Sorry, what was the question?
Would you like to make camp here on the edge of the forest, or would you like to have made camp farther back away from the forest, or are you guys gonna dive right into the forest?
We can do it on the edge. That way we have less travel in the morning and we're not like in the middle of.
Yeah, we can keep watch anyways if anything bad happens.
Alright, I guess we're living on the edge.
True.
Yep. All right.
All right.
I'm on the edge.
Glory!
Thank you. Perfect. So you make camp. You've already eaten for the day, but tomorrow morning you could cook breakfast again. Who's taking first watch?
Felicia with someone.
I'll join you.
Woo!
Okay, Felicia, make me a perception check at advantage.
14.
14. Being so close to the forest, it's hard to notice anything else besides the forest and the things in it. Most of the movement around you is really the forest, too. I mean, most of the interesting things. It's like there's fields behind you, fields of wheat and other various vegetables, maybe some potatoes and things, but nothing very interesting out there. Now that you're near the forest, it's kind of hard to look away. Again, you see lots of little movement of things here and there. A couple things you swear are just very large bugs, but you didn't get a good enough look at them to confirm whether or not they were actually there, or if your mind's playing tricks on you, but there's definitely some evil shit in there. Other than that, you don't really notice anything like aggressively coming towards the camp, so...
During this process, can I just like lean over to Carrick and be like, hey, is this place like really scary?
A little bit. We like fought this like panther with like 8 legs and tentacles last time we were here. It's kind of crazy.
Why did we come here? All right, good night.
Wait, who are you waking up? Felicia goes right to sleep with no watch.
Wake up. No.
I'm waking up Dross.
Okay, Drost, you waking anybody up with you?
Yeah, I'll wake up Milos again.
Alright. Drost, make me a perception check with advantage.
Yeah.
I'm awake now, but still
Ooh.
sleepy.
20.
20.
Advantage is nice.
Advantage is nice. You again, just like you noticed, like you're the person who noticed the clouds moving strange earlier, so you kind of glance up again, and strangely enough, they're almost overhead at this point. They might as well be overhead. Could be rain within the next few hours, even. You're kind of surprised that it already isn't raining, considering how strong and cloudy the sky is all of a sudden. But
I'll just start a conversation based on that. Be like, I feel like we should be getting rained on. From those dark ass clouds up there.
Milos?
Milos, any response?
It is pretty dark up there.
Yep, that's it.
All right. Good. Nice talk.
Sure do.
Again, the forest is now even darker than before because the cloud cover is over the moon, over the starlight. It's just almost pitch black inside the forest at night when it's in this state. It's harder to see movement within the forest, but you do still see some occasional movement in there. And I'm talking like maybe a couple times over the total number of 2 hours you're taking your watch here. It's not like there's a ton of movement in there, but it's not completely still either. Otherwise, nothing aggressive chases out of the forest at you during your watch, so I'd say that's uneventful. You gonna wake anybody up for the third watch?
Was that me? Yeah. So let's see. We found the Nakarth hasn't gone yet today, right?
Not today.
Oh, Nakara, your turn.
All right, sweet. No antics.
Get ready to be rained on.
You think it was gonna be that soon? No. Just
Yeah. Okay. All right, I'll take my watch.
All right. Waking anybody up with you?
Let's see. Shit, who hasn't gone?
Nala has not
Nala? I'll wake up Nala and have him watch with me.
yet. All right. Make me a perception check at advantage, Nakarth.
Whew, thank God for advantage 15.
15.
Because the other one was a 1.
All right. During your watch, you do feel a couple raindrops start to fall. You hear some thunder in the distance, but at the beginning of your watch, it doesn't seem that close, but over the course of the watch, it starts to get closer and louder as this rapidly approaching storm is, seeing these lightning strikes in the sky get closer. Some of them, well, most of them outside the forest, strangely enough, despite the forest being the tallest thing around.
Oh boy. Raindrops keep falling on my head.
It's pretty obvious that the lightning is just getting closer and closer to you as kind of dawn is approaching. Although, even though dawn is approaching, it's not getting much brighter out thanks to the cloud cover.
If I woke up everyone else to go into the forest to avoid the lightning now, that would, or towards the end of my watch, right?
I'd say it's like 2/3 of the way through your watch now. It's pretty close to the end.
And do I think we're in danger of being struck before the end of my watch, or?
The lightning is definitely rapidly approaching, and it's definitely not normal lightning. You can pick that much up.
I'll start waking everyone else up and tell them that we have to start heading towards the forest to get out of this lightning.
All right. So everybody's reaction to that.
Oh, damn it.
You guys are already kind of getting woken up by the rain on you anyways, so it's not exactly a pleasant awakening.
All right, let's find some cover.
Yeah, cover sounds good. If only we were close to like a forest or... Oh, wait.
If only.
We going in?
I think we're going in.
Sounds
I'd like to
like
make
dive
some
in deep.
and while we're undercover, at least.
Did you say breakfast? Is that what you...
Yeah.
Alright, so as soon as you guys make your way into the forest, you find a little clearing, and Karik whips something up real quick. Due to the rain and being inside a forest, make me the check at disadvantage, please.
That is a 17.
17. Pretty good meal, considering the circumstances. You all can take 1 temp HP.
Hey,
It's
there we
something.
go. That's something.
Yeah, it's a pretty good meal.
Cooking
Especially,
under pressure.
yeah, making something warm to combat the cold. It's a nice little meal.
A little breakfast stew.
Alright, you are all now officially in the Eldritch Groves.
And I'm never coming out.
It's a pretty dense forest from this angle you entered it at. It's almost hard to see very far into it, especially with the rain and the cloud cover and just the darkness. It's not even fully day yet. Just very difficult to make your way through it. It's it's not like big, tall, like oaks or anything. It's a lot of smaller trees, kind of a sub canopy under the larger canopy that just make it dense and tightly packed everywhere. But you are able to make your way around fairly well, just at a somewhat slower pace, wherever you do choose to go in here. What do you guys decide to do?
Hey guys,
Dance.
Yeah.
what's our plan?
I was honestly just looking for some ruins to explore.
So I'm realizing now we maybe should have gotten a mission to capture something. However, we don't have that. So yeah, ruins or anything that we can sell back or use ourselves. Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to find some cool stuff.
I respect it. Let's stay alive and look for some ruins maybe.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right.
Myself between y'all because I'm scared.
So we'll keep an eye out for ruins.
Okay. If somebody wants to make a survival check, and somebody can aid them with this if they are proficient. And then if anyone else wants to keep watch while you travel, up to you.
I can keep watch.
I will aid Nakarth. Wait. Nope. No, I won't. No, I won't. I won't help anybody.
Are you not proficient?
Not in survival.
Fuck. Alright. And neither am I, so I'm just going off my wisdom modifier.
Okay. Go for that
So-
survival roll.
Woo! Oh, good. 18.
Pretty good. So wandering through the forest, you're kind of just glancing around, and did I hear somebody make a perception check too, or not?
Yeah, I'll make one.
Okay, cool.
Cocked. That is a 5. No, a 6.
A 6. It's so dense in here, it's hard to see. Maybe you'll have better luck when there's more light, but unfortunately for now, all you can really see are the trees. But Nakarth, however, is... Though he's not really looking out for anything but the surroundings, and he's specifically trying to look at the trees, he's cutting pretty clear paths through this forest, finding, oh, there's a weak spot over there on those vines, let's cut through there instead of making a long way around, things like that. And you guys make good progress in a couple hours' time. It's grueling, it's just nasty, it's kind of humid in this forest with the rain falling, and the plants are starting to wake up and open up to the water and make these weird smells, and it's just not a pleasant experience, but you guys do eventually find some ruins. What you see is kind of stone steps upwards in... It's like a big square with stone steps up on each side, maybe only a flight of steps tall, and maybe not even, maybe at half. It's not a particularly large platform, you could call it, at least from what you can see from here. But it does look to be fairly old, and it's just fairly old stone brick, very mossy and worn down. But from this distance, you can't really tell much else about it.
Is it just a platform, or does it seem like an entrance?
It's elevated above your eyesight for now, so right now you can't see what's at the top of the stairs, but you can tell it doesn't rise up any higher than the staircase you can see. It just either flattens out or goes inwards at the top. You can't tell from here.
Check it out.
I watch the steps for any kind of trap as I go up.
Okay. Are you guys all making your way up stealthily or just a normal pace?
Creeping.
We creeping.
Creeping? Alright.
Creeping doesn't hurt.
Make me a group stealth check, and Nakarth, make me an investigation check.
Ooh, that is a natural 1.
Ooh!
Oof. Well, my stealth was 17 plus... Shit, was it 6? 8.
A lot.
8 plus 8. So
Nice.
that's a 15 for my stealth. That doesn't help the natural 1, but it's...
It's something.
I've got a 20.
20 is good. Is that a
And
natural
a
20?
nat 20 for investigation.
Nat 20 for investigation. Okay. Let's finish the stealth check, but I'll get back to that.
Felicia dropped a 10 stealth.
I dropped a natty 1 stealth.
Hey.
Jesus
Plus-
fucking Christ.
Plus
Jesus.
0.
Can I like sneak around to the other side of the building? Holy fuck!
Not during the check, unfortunately. If you announced that beforehand,
Damn
I'd
it.
allow it. At this point, there's been 2 natural ones, so I'll say you guys, well, the 2 natural ones at least, step on several very loud branches as you approach. You don't end up being very stealthy at all. But you are at least approaching carefully, which is something. And your speed, we'll say, assisted Nakareth in investigating the steps on his way up, as he was carefully approaching the staircase. These steps, you notice, are not trapped. You're fairly confident in that. However, there are some runes that you don't recognize, and they're kind of too worn down to even read or decipher. But you can tell there's something written on these steps previously. But other than that, they're not trapped. They don't appear to be magical in any way. They don't appear to be sprung with anything. They're just stairs.
Okay. Well, I'll point out the writing, since we're not being quiet, to anyone who wants to. Well, I'd like to attempt to read it, but...
Sure. I'll say make me a history check, I guess is probably the most applicable.
Okay. Eight.
No, you can't get a beat on it. You don't recognize this, as far as you're aware. At least I think you don't. Let me double check your languages. But I don't...
Celestial Common, Kiori, and Redarin?
Yeah, you don't recognize it, whatever it is.
Redrin? Yeah. Womp. Alright. Well, I'll point it out to anyone else who wants to try to read it.
I'll take a look at it.
Alright, Dross, let me double check your languages. Just make me a general intelligence check as you attempt to read it. Or a history check, I guess, if you're proficient in it. Why not? History check's
Yeah,
probably
sure.
better.
History check. General history. That is a 13, so 18.
18. Alright, you, after looking at it for just a minute and kind of like piecing together several different points of it, some familiarity kicks in, and that helps you decipher other parts of it. And you still can't read it, but you recognize them as some kind of giant runes.
Oh, I know this. This is giantish.
I'm pretty average.
Yeah, it's always gonna
Oh.
offer unless someone asks them another
Then what does it say?
So I can't decipher what it says at all?
There's too many missing pieces from being worn down. You can see scattered letters here and there, and that's how you recognize the text at least. But for this area, it's just far too eroded.
I'm afraid it's too worn down by time for me to read it.
Unfortunate. Well,
It's
and then I will peek over the top of the...
It's quite
of the
interesting
mesa.
that there's giantish in this land, though.
Alright, so you peek over the top of the stairs, and you see carved into this very large square, which has to be several dozen feet across. Hard to make out exactly from the dimensions of it at the moment, but this big round hole that just drops down, and in the dark it's hard to see how deep it goes, but there is a staircase around the outside spiraling inwards.
Ooh, that was cool.
Well, that's not ominous. Shall we go?
That's what we're here
Yeah,
for.
let's check it out.
Alright.
As I
believe
will
that's
skip
what we're
down the
here for.
stairs.
Skip down the stairs without checking them. That is exactly what I wanted to hear.
Alright. Nakareth heads on in. Fortunately for you, the steps themselves were not trapped, and you were alright.
Hallelujah.
But you do make it to the bottom. The rest of the party follow, I assume?
Mm-hmm.
I would like to follow, and I
Come on in.
believe
The water is fine.
The
I
water's
believe
fine.
as a Goliath, I do not have dark
Yes.
vision.
This was going to be my next question. So it is... it is... Excuse me, I lost my train of thought there for a second.
Whatever that was.
It is very dark down here, so anyone without dark vision will be very blind down here. Because even with the cloud cover above, there's no sunlight piercing down at all. The forest canopy, there's just... You're going to need some source of light.
Yes, Charles would like.
All right.
Oh.
What do you cast light on? So you pick an
He
object.
doesn't have to.
I think you pick an object and it glows.
I do. No, it's true.
You can either pick an object and it glows, or it's just a floating orb right next to you.
I think that's a different cantrip. I could be wrong.
Nope.
Yeah,
There's dancing lights, which is slightly different, but
Yeah, that's
not a
different.
light cantrip.
yeah, I'm pretty
think
sure
light-
light you need to cast it on something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you need
I mean,
Yeah.
I think you could do it on like your finger if you really wanted to, but I think it has to be on.
Yeah, I'm looking at the spell right now, so it does have to be on something. But you like Karek said, it could be a finger.
I'm doing it on my spell focus, which I'm just gonna hold, and I'm just gonna say like, hey, does anyone else want a light?
Sorry. Guess I
That
was
would
wrong.
be nice.
All right, just hold everyone out. I got this shit.
All right, so several people need dark vision. I think it's most of the party actually. I know
Yeah,
Karek won't need it.
actually-
I think everyone else will.
Yeah, I actually don't have dark vision.
Can I
If you want, I
cast
can use- I
light
can
on
use the
Neko?
cat.
You can, if you want to classify Neko as an object. Sure.
I will cast light on Neko.
You objectify your cat. Good job.
Rude.
The joke had layers. It's good. Okay. So you all have pretty good light now in the base. I don't think light is a super wide range, but it's enough that you can see around with it's basically candlelight down there at this point. You do see some sconces on the wall that are unfortunately all very damp, but if you had your own torches, you might be able to fit them in there, make some more light. Up to you guys, really. But in the middle, you do see, and I'll actually switch us over there right now. Just kind of, this is the rough circle. There's this raised area in the middle that looks like that. Did I actually switch you guys over properly? Yes, looks like it.
Mhm.
Roll 20.
Might help. On all four sides, all four cardinal directions, there are gates blocked off by bars, or just like barred doors, almost looking like cells of some kind. But the caverns behind them go too deep for you to really see the ends of them specifically. But they're all very tall too, like maybe 20 feet tall, and you all have come down like 100 feet deep in the staircase to whatever this area is. I'll actually have to go copy over your character icons. But yeah, you're all down here now, and you may explore as you wish.
We didn't find out if the Ronin giants left alive, right?
No.
The what?
Milo, so you asking about giants in general or giants in this area?
In this area.
Well, make me a history check.
All right. 24, natural 20.
Okay, 24. So you would know, just from your knowledge of history, that the giants were all but eradicated years ago, like dozens of years ago. I think it's actually hundreds of years ago or something like that. I'd have to look it up again. I apologize. But they kind of flew too close to the sun, so to speak, and the gods and the dragons kind of struck them back down and cursed their land to no longer be civilized. So you never even heard of giants being on this continent, nonetheless, being still around and still making things.
What is this this structure in the middle of the room?
So it's probably, to you, it's very large. It looks like some kind of table, but it's raised up off the ground. It's so large, probably built for giants. So it's maybe 7-8 feet tall, but it looks like some kind of table without chairs in the middle of the room.
Can I inspect it for any like markings or runes or?
Yeah, there appears to be giantish writing on it again, but again, pretty worn down and hard to read.
any like mechanisms to it, or is it just a solid piece of rock?
Make me an investigation check.
14.
Dross would also like to take some time to inspect the entire table, whatever it is,
All right, you may make that check as well. Karik,
from within 1 foot.
at advantage, sure. Karik, you don't see anything mechanical about the structure. Although the runes, you do notice, even though they're worn away and some of them are missing, some of them are in some kind of a pattern, so you guess that it's less inscription for the purpose of conveying information and more magical in nature.
On cue, may I make an Arcana check?
You may make an Arcana check. Do you know Giant?
No.
Make it at disadvantage.
So I rolled.
Could I aid her to make it one straight roll?
You may, sure, if you're proficient in Arcana.
Arcana.
All right.
I rolled 2 dice. One was a natural 1, and the other was a natural 20.
Perfect.
Which
Damn, that's pretty good.
Which at advantage puts me at a 25 for investigation.
All right. So you looking over the table, again, like Karik saw, nothing mechanical about it, but it does look like some kind of table. You look to the plates on the floor as well. It's kind of like a stone tile work underneath here, but the tiles are larger than any of you would be used to for tiles. You also notice that the staircase you came down was pretty large, although the steps were small enough for normal people, which felt strange to you, but, well, here you are. The table itself, yep, you notice these giantish runes. You definitely notice there's something magical about them. You can't quite put your finger on it from where you are at the moment, but something about it.
Well, with that, I will go stand in the middle of the table and look around.
Underneath it, or are you going to climb on top?
I was going to climb on top.
Okay. Yeah, make me an athletics check to climb up there. So there's not going to be like much support under your legs as you grab the edge and pull yourself up over it.
I rolled a 9, so 16.
Yeah, you can make it up there. It's not a graceful display, but you do make it on top.
I'm wearing heavy armor.
Yes. Back to Felicia. You were making an Arcana check, I believe?
My disadvantage Arcana check was a 14.
I gave you a straight roll because I aided you.
Oh, baby.
Yes.
Thank you. Then I got a 20.
20, nice. Yeah, looking over the table, it's hard because you don't know Giantish, but it's definitely magic. You can't tell what school it is without knowing Giant, but you can tell that the magic, whatever magic is in it, isn't quite dormant. That's what you're able to tell, just examining it and kind of trying to feel the energies around it. It's still, despite being so worn down, the magic is still very much alive.
Can I ask Dross to like interpret some characters for me, if that will help like contextualize it in any way that might let me glean something from it?
You may, if Dross would like to assist.
Dross would love to help you.
All right. Continuing with that roll, then. I'll just say you're able to kind of piece things together here and there that this is some kind of... It seems similar to conjuration to you, but it's like no conjuration magic you've seen before. Seems like
It's another
maybe...
vampire circle.
This one didn't have abjuration, at least. But this one seems like some kind of maybe, some giant magic that hasn't been seen in a while. That's what you kind of gather.
I'm gonna say like, hey guys, with all the giantish, I can't really tell what's going on here, but it does seem like it has roots in conjuration. So let's be careful.
Everybody who, excuse me, if I may interrupt. Everybody who has not looked at the table, make me a perception check. Because I'd assume you'd be kind of looking around the room while they were looking at the table.
Yeah. 18 for Nagarath.
All right.
6 for my list.
All right. Nala, what'd you get?
Perception, right?
Yes, please.
15.
15. All right. So the two of you that rolled pretty decent, you kind of casually glance up and you notice that despite it being pretty dark in here, you can actually start to see some light coming from up above as the clouds are starting to part just over the opening to this area and nowhere else.
Hey, maybe get off the table. Just a hunch.
Huh?
Saying that to Drost, I assume.
Yeah. The clouds are parting, but
Drost, I can't move
only
you on the
in
table,
this
and I'm a little bit sad.
area.
Dross will look up from the center of the table, see the clouds, and just kind of hop off.
Okay. Just as Drost hops off, you all hear a loud crack of thunder as a lightning bolt races from the clouds and the opening of the clouds, almost as if energy gathered from the opening and then shot straight down as a beam of like white hot light hitting the center of the table. As it does, and you see this flash, and you all kind of shield your eyes from it for a second and look away, but when you look back up, the energy isn't gone. It's just condensed into some kind of form. And we'll pick it up from there next week.
Ooh-wee.
Does the form resemble a giant?
The form resembles something too bright to look at the moment.
Fair.
And we will get to what it looks like next time.
Nice.
The form
This
resembles
episode of Dragon Ball Z.
Whoa.
Ooh, I hope it's a cool storm giant.
Echo.
Echo. All right, guys. Any parting comments, or should I just stop the recording here?
No, that was legit.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a good set.
All right.
Did a lot.
Yeah, good stuff. All right. Well, thank you all for joining us this week, and we'll see you next week.
Nice.
Yeah.